Mic'd up with Mikie Mahtook. Got the boys in. I got Lloyd. We got Mitch. We got Jackie Boy.
He tried to jump up and he might have knocked it in.
Good timing. Let's go. What a start to the Monday. I mean, I'm from Lafayette. My boys will come in and say,
oh, God. So me and Joe on the ground, I got Joe in the headlock. And he's sitting there, he's punching me in the stomach, like, punching me.
Here, is everyone sitting around, who here thinks Chico can practice today after having 5 full beers? And he goes, Chad Jones, right? Chad's doing the team 6 minutes. For 7 minutes, right? Chad's like, no, man, I don't think Chico can practice today. And I was like, I look back, I'm like, Jesus Christ. I saw you there. You were more fucked up than me.
On the Spirit plane had some issues, I think. She was sleep farting.
you heard her or you just thought it was her?
I sat right next to her. I smelled it.
Whoa. What was that?
Time for the show.
Now, when you do go to spring training, are you going to bring your chinchilla and your turtle? My dad tell you about it?
The SEC is, God, they hate fat people. I mean, I get crushed for that. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, man.
Hey, just the South, bro. You got a bunch of food down here. Like, they should
Players, look at Lloyd.
You know what, Lloyd?
You're looking for a recruiting coordinator, coach. I'm here.
He's like, I'll piss my pants right now.
No way.
We're wearing gray pants, long gray pants. He goes, I'll piss my pants right now. Welcome back to Mic'd Up. Today is Friday, May 24th. We have a big show for you today. It's going to be a short show. Quick sprint, very quick, fast show. Talk about what LSU's doing. Obviously, it's been a hell of a week for LSU. It's been a crazy week for the boys that are mic'd up. Lloyd holding it down at the studio by himself. I told him I was going to be here today. I lied to him. I am not. I am actually at my house. Listen, I am technically in Baton Rouge, but I'm only going to be in Baton Rouge for another 45 minutes. So we're going to figure this out. You know why? Because we love doing this and we love talking LSU baseball. LSU is in the semifinals. This is a day of rest for the LSU baseball team and the LSU baseball fans because LSU is off today because they're undefeated and they've won every game so far in the SEC tournament. They're in the semifinals tomorrow on Saturday. And if they win that, obviously they're in the finals on Sunday with a chance to continue to bolster their postseason resume. We're going to get into that. What does the postseason look like for them? Obviously, we kind of brought up potentially winning the tournament and hosting. Kendall Rogers said that's probably not going to happen, but it's still fun to talk about. And, you know, it may not happen, but let's win it and make them make a tough decision. Mitch still rocking it out there in Charlotte. You've been killing it on SEC Network. Looking good.
Birmingham, baby.
Oh, yeah, Birmingham. Oh, yeah, Charlotte.
What are you doing?
Hoover. My bad. Yeah, the home, Charlotte, the home of SEC Network. I meant to say Hoover. You've been killing it, looking great, jumping in ball pits, hanging out with the boys that are SEC Network. You look good. How's it been?
I got suckered into doing that shit, goddammit.
Yeah, of course. You think that you did? You think that we thought you did on purpose? Yeah, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to jump in this ball pit and scare the shit out of that little kid that's looking at me.
It's like the Laffy Taffy joke, man. Like, y'all got to stop putting this damn camera in front of me.
Well, the Laffy Taffy was great. That was pretty endearing right there. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. Hey, just a heads up for everybody that's watching. My dog's probably going to start barking here in the next 20 minutes. My wife will be arriving, which means the chime goes off, which means my dog, Kobe, Bean Bryant,
Mahtook.
He just can't help himself. He gets very excited. So just a heads up, when you hear barking, my dog, you probably see an appearance of him at some time soon. But let's get into it. What a game yesterday. We talked about all week, right? We obviously had our show on Monday, talked about what we wanted to see on Tuesday. They go out Tuesday, they play as good of a baseball game as they could play. Win 9-1 against Georgia, hold down a potent offense to only scoring 1 run. Then you go and you play the next day against a Kentucky team who is now number 1 in the RPI, who just dismantled. Who did they play? Texas A&M?
Tennessee.
Tennessee,
right?
I think it was Tennessee. They dismantled Tennessee. Whoever they played, I forget who they played. They go there. Then LSU plays them, beats them 11-0. Then you move on to a hot South Carolina team who has one of the hottest hitters in all of college baseball and definitely in the SEC tournament. They're trying to make their postseason run, and you play them, and you get in a situation where you're down by 4 runs. You come back, right? You take the lead, then you get the lead back, and you're down 3 runs going into the top of the 8th. Yeah, top of the 8th, right? And you end up getting it to 10-9. And then you come back in the top of the 9th and lead off, you got 2 guys on. Then they don't bunt Larson, which you're going to talk into. A lot of people had an issue with that. I'm not so sure I had such an issue with it, but we'll talk into it. Larson does the job. It's a deep fly ball. Thought he clicked it, didn't. Gets the guy over, ends up working out because of pass ball. I think it was. Did he steal second?
No, it's a pass ball.
Somehow they got pass ball, right?
Yeah. I don't think Bilal was picking up and putting him down and taking a bag.
Yep. No, I know. I didn't know if it was like a dirt ball read. Like, because the pass ball could have scored a guy. Anyway, they hit the second and third with less than 2 outs, and they were able to manufacture 2 runs and score and win the game. Obviously, Braswell with the big hit down against his old team. It feels different than it did at the beginning of the season. The beginning of the season, you look at those situations, and you're like, this game's over. LSU 1 in 15 or 14. When they're trailing going into the 9th inning. Flip side, South Carolina was like 24-0, leading going into the 9th inning or whatever it is. Up 24, maybe 2.
I think it was 22. I think it was either 22 or 23. But you're right.
So they're undefeated, right? Yeah, they hadn't lost yet, and it just felt like. And I almost sent it in our group text, and I didn't want to because I didn't want to jinx it. Yeah, I didn't want to mush it. I'm very good at that. I didn't want to mush it, so I felt. Watching the game, I was like, this just feels different. It feels like LSU's just going to figure out a way to win this game, and they did that. And they've done it playing the right brand of baseball. Everybody's stepping up. People are doing the things that they need to do. And then they end up winning the game, and now they're undefeated. They won 3 straight against all teams that are ranked higher than them in the RPI. So they put themselves in a prime position. They will be a number 2 seed, I would imagine, in the postseason play. Hosting a regional, obviously, is probably a 5% chance, maybe less than that. But you go ahead, you win Saturday, and you win Sunday, and you beat 2 teams that are probably going to be ranked in the top 5, top 10 in the RPI. You never know what happens. But the boys are playing good baseball. They're playing great defense. They're coming up with timely hits, and they're throwing the shit out of it. Listen, that's basically the 3rd starter, right? Thatcher Hurd. The mystery, Thatcher Hurd. 2 straight innings, 5 strikeouts in 2 innings. Looks great. 3rd inning comes in, a little bit of bad luck, then starts to unravel. They end up taking him out the game, and Agenhausen comes in, and they did a good job of piecing it together, right? You had everybody that came in through, almost 2 innings, and after that 2nd inning, they got into some trouble, and then guys came in, limited the damage, which I think was the biggest thing, and then allowed the offense to continue to stay hot and score some runs. So I've been pumped to see what I've been seeing, and to watch them play a good style of baseball, it feels like this is the style that we expected. Jay, you've been there, boots on the ground with your eyeballs in person. What did you see yesterday from that game that you liked the most moving forward into the weekend, into the postseason?
It's crazy to me to see what just a little belief will do for you. So no doubt about it, the way they played on Tuesday, the way they played on Wednesday, incredible, right? Like that's the team that you can see that's playing with a belief. They played with a lead. They got ahead early. They didn't give it back, and they continued to slam the door when they got the opportunity to slam the door. That's what you usually see good teams do. Now, what you see great teams do is you move into the next game on Thursday. You're playing a team who's arguably just as hot as you are, especially over the past two, who's playing for arguably even more than you are, being that they lost their last 6 regular season games when we thought 2.5 weeks ago that this team might be a host site, right? They're playing for just as much or even more than you are, and they got a player that is on fire. So it's not like it's just being passed around. The guy that's on fire gets up in a situation where his base is loaded, and you're sitting there thinking to yourself, ain't no way this is about to happen. There's just no way this is about to happen. By the way, too, I think that Grand Slam put the tournament over in its entirety ever, the most Grand Slams ever hit in the SEC tournament, right? So he goes and hits that Grand Slam, makes it 5-1, and at that point, that's where we usually see either good teams stay just a good team and or what we saw from this LSU team previously. They're 10-run ruled in a 7th in a month and a half ago. I'm just gonna tell the truth about it, right? And for them to go ahead and tack on a couple more, shut down inning. Go ahead and tack on a couple more, shut down inning. Go ahead. And then they give up some runs. And then now it's a jab back and forth, and we're fighting. We're going back and forth. And for you to put yourself in that situation, you go down 3, you're in the 8th, you tack on 2 more, you get into the next. Like, that was a heavyweight battle. That was 2 really good teams playing really well and really confident. And that is the mark of a team that's on top of good, pushing themselves to great, and can make a run in the right situation. Now, will we see them host? I doubt it, right? It's probably the difference between a 2 seed and a 3 seed at this point, which really is not that huge of a difference, but it's the difference in being a home team or a away team, right? So that's probably where they're going to sit. When I see somebody like Thatcher Hurd do what he did yesterday, and I think to myself, I wish I had the numbers in front of me right now, because truly, I guess if you want to, especially if you want to go to stats, the SEC tournament is where he really started to turn it around at, right? And for 2 innings, you saw him have fastball command and control, and then you saw him be able to throw the big breaking ball off of it. He kind of lost it in that 3rd inning. We kind of talked about it and said, oh, it's bad luck. I truly don't think it's bad luck. It's the byproduct of what happens when you 100%. Lose fastball command and you put runners on that didn't have to work to get on. It don't take much at that point to be able to find a spot. You allow that hitter, that 4th guy coming up, to be able to shrink the ability to say, hey, what do I have to look for? Fastball, curveball, slider. You don't have to think about any of that anymore. He's shrinking the zone. He's shrinking your pitch options, and it doesn't take much bat to find green grass to bring in runners, right? So that happened. I think the first 2 innings were positive for him. It's something for him to build on. And if that is another arm you can add in that situation going forward, now you're cooking with hot grease right here. You take even an outing by Christian Little. I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't even think it was that bad. Yeah, he put some runners on, but the pitches that he executed that day were just better at bats and better hitters in those spots. You're not going to find that. You're not going to find that up and down every time if you execute those pitches. So the pitches that he gave up the runs on, for me, I'm like, all right, yeah, we put some runners on, but I didn't think they were that bad. That's a team, too, like I said, that's playing with so much confidence. They got things done right there. But to see LSU get a win, and then you get into the 9th, and you don't have your horse, and you're throwing somebody who has not been in really that situation, especially that pressure pack, and for him to go 1, 2, 3, sit down, game over, you're like, okay, this is different.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up Ulloa, right? I'm glad you brought him up because we've been talking about him for the last 3 weeks. Early in the season looked great.
Yeah.
Great. And then he disappeared for a little bit, and the conversations or the rumors, the stuff that we're hearing was, he kind of went through like a little bit of a dead arm. He kind of started losing some velo, and so he kind of was shelved for a little bit. And then all of a sudden, about a month ago, he comes back. He's throwing mid-90s. He looks good. He's throwing down. I mean, it's like every time he throws, it's a very easy, smooth delivery. Every time he throws it looks like he's going to be around the zone, right? Has a breaking ball. It's a 2-pitch guy, fastball, slider. And when you saw him come in there, he was touching 96. I want to say he touched 97 once in the game. Was that?
I definitely saw a 6. Yeah, he said he saw 7. I definitely saw a 6 in there.
I think I saw 1-7, but he was down in the zone, throwing his slider, competing against these guys, and he came in a situation, they're down 3. At that point, your job is to, hey, I got to make sure I get out of this inning clean and give our guys an opportunity to go and tack on some runs and make it give us a chance in the 9th. He did that. LSU goes in and puts together some really good at-bats, scores a couple runs. They get to the 9th inning. They score a run, and now you have to go and you have to shut down their offense, who has been extremely hot, and he does it, drama-free, looks really good doing it. The fact that now you have 3 guys that over the last month have consistently showed you they can go out there and be dominant for 2 innings, right? And if that's going to be the formula and you have 4 guys that are going to go 2-ish innings on that 3rd day, all right, and if they're all going to be dominant, that's fine. If Thatcher can say, I'm going to give you 2 really dominant innings, and that's all I'm going to give you, I'm good with that, as long as you know that you have the ability to do that. And so Yo, I think the reemergence of Uyo, I think it's a huge thing, and the way he threw that weekend, or last night, is a huge thing. And, man, we talk about Pearson, and Jay talks about, why is he hitting 2 holes? Jay's like, I want him in an RBI situation. I want him in a situation that there's going to be runners on, because I know he's going to be able to come through, whether it's a hit or whether he's putting the ball in play. Listen, he had that base hit, or he had the error, right, at first base, that little top spin deal, and he was a big reason why that wasn't it him, right? Down the right, down the
he bucketed old buddy.
Right? Yeah, and so I know it wasn't a hit, but he's going to get a professional bat. He's going to put pressure on the defense. And now those things that weren't going the right way, which we've been talking about for a long time early in the season, those little 50-50 balls that were going opposite now are going in LSU's direction. Those are huge things. And so he comes up huge. And then, Braswell, the way he's been playing over the last 2 weeks, specifically the last series and this tournament.
Since he's been moved to leadoff
spot, I think he solidified this offense. Hey, and Lloyd, kudos to you, dude. You on Wednesday, you said, hey, I can see Brown getting to start in center field, and boy, wasn't that a good situation?
Yeah. We might know ball over here on the podcast. See, I listen to you two guys. I'm not just over here, yapping my trap. I'm taking, the advice of my elders over here, and I'm starting to learn a little bit of ball. Watch out. Even called a stolen base yesterday.
No, yeah, you did. And but Jake Brown looked good in center. Obviously hit the home run. 0-2, missed 2 bunts. Lefty breaking ball. Great swing. Big moment in the game. He's put together some good at bats. He went opposite field in the 9th or the 8th. Those freshmen back to back. Milan's been nails. He had 4 hits yesterday. Brown's been nails. Larson, listen, I know everybody said Larson did this little bit of a mini slump. He still, the ball down left field line was driven. Yeah. The ball at right field was driven. He's having a little bit of bad luck, but still putting together really quality at bats. And where they're playing and where they're at right now looks unbelievably good, and unbelievably promising moving forward.
And I would say just one little side point to it too. Like yesterday, they went forward in terms of putting themselves in the best position to win this tournament. I think they made their case already to say, hey, we're in the tournament, we're in the NCAA tournament, and we can move forward. We don't have to think about that no more. But what they made their case for yesterday was, we're going to go out and try to win this tournament. Now, that's hard to do when you throw all those guys that you threw yesterday and you come down and you don't get the win, because you don't get the day off, and now you have the extra games to play. It makes it tougher. But for you to go and do it, get it done, get to day off, it kind of resets everything for you a little bit. It gives you an opportunity to move forward where you're in an advantageous point right now, because everyone is going to have to beat you twice. And it was impressive to see him do it, because we haven't really been able to see them do that. And let's be honest, of what has been the schedule so far, let's say 95% of the schedule.
Let me ask you this. Lloyd, do you have the SEC schedule, like the tournament schedule?
I can in 1 second.
Let everybody see your pretty face, dude.
Oh, I'm rocking the playoff beard right now. I haven't shaved since they started the tournament, so I got this little.
Can you zoom in so everybody can see it?
No. It looks good from afar, but not. But up close, it's far from good. But okay. I'll pull up the schedule. But you mentioned on something that I think. First of all, the call and response that you saw from LSU whenever you go through the box score. whenever South Carolina puts up 5 and you have the grand slam after Thatcher, which unbelievable. Like there's probably not a more entertaining starting pitcher that I can think of that you have no clue what's going to happen. First 2 innings has 5 punch outs, and you're like, there he is, he's back. Like that's the Thatcher would win.
Hey, I'll be honest with you. After seeing him for almost 2 years now, when he throws, if the fastball's like anywhere near the plate, not necessarily like for a strike, but if it's anywhere near the plate, you're like, okay, you got a chance today because he might be dominant. It's almost instantaneous. You can see like when he goes out there and the fastball's just sprayed all over the place. You're like, all right, you don't have it. And it doesn't. And he usually doesn't really find it after that. But when it's close, he got a chance.
Yeah, no doubt.
He was flipping in breaking balls yesterday for strikes, and it was like, this is. I mean, he's elite, whatever he's on, because his stuff is hard to hit, obviously. He gets 5 strikeouts. He's throwing 96, 97, and then the wheels absolutely fall off in the third, and you bring Ackenhausen into just a tough spot, bases loaded, and maybe the hottest hitter in the country up, and he does exactly what you would think he would do, and hits a grand slam. But to Jay Mitch's point, like, that's the thing that would have happened early in the year, and you would fold up the tent like, all right, this was fun, good run. They put up a 5 spot, but LSU responds the next inning and puts up a 4 spot. Like, okay, you're back in the fight. That kind of stuff is what I was most impressed with, because that's kind of who this team has become, where in games where they would have rolled over and gotten, like you said, 10 runs, now they're staying in the fight and absolutely with you until the end of the game, and you have arms that it feels like you can trust a little bit. Like, obviously, Nate, the emergence of Christian Little has been big. Lower is in there, but he'll throw you strikes, but it's not somebody.
No, he did well.
Yeah, he did well.
Well, but like, the Lower's last few outings, like,
they've been
hey,
good.
We're not going to ask you to do too much, and he's been good, right? Like, that's what you want from him, right? You want a guy who's going to be reliable, even if it's for an inning. That's it.
And when it comes,
and this is, I'm about to say, just a sidebar on that. This is what we thought kind of we would see from this pen early on. Now, what you're getting from starter 1 and starter 2, and Gage Jump and Luke Holman, is the ability for those guys to not have to go extended amount of time right now.
Right.
And when they don't have to be extended over that, 40 to 50 pitch range, those guys are actually much better than what they've done in the past. And that's not what we've seen so far. So don't downplay what starter 1 and starter 2 have done for you so far, and in terms of how you were able to manage the bullpen.
Now, let me ask you this before we go into what we want to see moving forward. Obviously, I don't know, Lloyd. Are you working on that schedule?
The SEC tournament schedule.
What's that?
Yeah, pulling it up.
Okay, yeah. So before we get into what we want to see on Saturday and what their route is, the last little bit that I want to talk about from last night's game, and this is like, it's one of those things where this is baseball conversation, right? And a lot of people have different philosophies on what to do and what not to do. Runners on first and second, no outs. Top of the 8th inning, LSU's down 3. Okay? Most people are saying bunt Larson. Bunt Larson, do this, they move him over, get runners on second and third with 1 out, and you have Milazzo, who's, isn't the scariest hitter, but he's been pretty clutch in the SEC tournament, and give them the opportunity to maybe drive in a couple runs. I know the chances of hitting into a double play and all of those types of things. I wasn't necessarily upset with the opportunity, with the chance. To me, that shows that Jay had trust in this freshman to come through with a pretty big at bat. Like, I'm not saying that. It wasn't like, if they bunted, I wouldn't have been upset. It wasn't like, oh no doubt. But he let him have an opportunity to come through with a base hit and get the big inning, right? Because you're down 3. At the end of the day, you've got to score 3 runs to tie the game to go in the extra innings. And you want to chip away and do those types of things. I was okay with him letting him swing away. It worked out. I thought he hit a 3-run homer. He had just missed it right on the track. Gets the guy to tag, so technically it moves him over. And then, they're obviously going to safety squeeze it. Then they get the guy second and third with 1 out. So it ended up working out, right? And then Milazzo almost hit the 3-run homer.
I thought he left.
So, so I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna be honest with you. This may be a little deep, I guess, for people that don't really know baseball well. But my thought process is this: that situation comes up, and that is almost like the old school reverse analytics thought of you have to bunt right here, no matter who it is.
Right.
Because the percentages say you won't do this, you won't do that, you have to bunt, right? And I think we don't do enough of critical thinking in that situation, which I get it, man. Bunt is probably the highest percentage play you can have right there. Probably, right? But we don't put into thought what maybe Ashton Larson's ball and play maybe percentage is, what maybe his trust level with Jay in the sense of, are you going to give me a good at bat here? What maybe that pitcher's strikeout percentage maybe is, maybe what that percentage, we don't put into thought like all of that stuff in the sense of Jay had enough feel to say, I think he's going to give me a good at bat. I think he's going to put a ball and play hard here. And I'm going to take the chance that it's not a 6-4-3, 5-4-3, 4-6-3, that it's not right at somebody, that it's not going to be here and get me and literally be an inning killer. Is it a little bit of a gamble?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. But that doesn't mean just because the highest percentage play is the one that we have to go with, right? If I flip it over to football, there's a lot of times where you see quarterbacks take deep shots on plays because of what the coverage may be, and there might have been an open underneath route that they probably could have gone to, and they could have kept the chains moving. But once in a while, sooner or later, we got to take a chance, because if we keep being so predictable, there is no big place to come from.
Right, no doubt. And so you're okay with it. Same way.
I was okay with it. I was okay with it. And I'll flip it around and I'll say it this way, if I'm being completely honest, just because of who he is and how he's done it, had that been Milazzo in that situation, I'd probably say we should probably bone him.
Right.
But being that it was Larson, and it's not that Larson that I thought Larson was going to go up there and hit a homer. I thought he was going to get the ball out of the infield and do what needed to be done in that situation, and he did.
And let me make another point, right? Larson hits a slow chopper up the middle. It's a lefty. It's a hard one to double off, right?
Yep.
Get down the line. He can beat it out. Ends up being in the same situation. Runners on first and third with one out.
Well, that's why I said outside of him hitting a kind of a missile 5-4-3, 6-4-3, 4-6-3, like he's probably going to beat out a ground ball.
Right.
So I don't really think that was going to happen. Yeah.
Agree. Right. And now Milazzo's there, same situation. He hits the ball up the middle. It's going to be a 6-4-3 double A, 4-6-3, whatever it is. Right. So I was okay with it. And then Milazzo, who's been really clutch in the tournament, he's come up with a bunch of RBI base hits. I thought he left the field for a home. Like, that would have been a fucking awesome story. He doesn't, but sacrifice fly, closes the gap, and then they end up scoring another run, and then they go in the ninth inning and do what they need to do. So I'm loving what I'm seeing as far as the play on the field goes and executing in those types of situations. But now they have 2 more games. They get a day off. They can catch their breath. They move forward. They play. Lloyd, have you brought it up yet?
Yes, I have it here for you, sir.
Okay.
Hold on. There we go. Can you see it?
They're up here.
Yeah. What?
They're going to be the game 13. Yeah.
Yeah. Go back.
Well, it goes away.
Or I said game 13. Yeah, not game 13. There you go.
Because you only have it. You can only see it on the Zoom, but it's on the screen for the show. Because it's only whenever I'm talking, it acts as if it's me. So
I can't. It's like it's choppy stuff. What is it? Can you just read me who they play the winner of who?
They play the winner of the game.
Game 13.
Yeah, so it will be South Carolina and Kentucky.
Okay, so it's gonna be a rematch against one of the 2 teams that they just played. But again, both teams are higher than them in the RPI. Now, I keep saying RPI. I'm not saying they are going to host. It's a very, 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 very slim chance of hosting. But any time that you can go and beat those types of teams going into the postseason, it's going to be better for you. So now the question is, what do they do?
Yes.
Are they going to pitch? He announced it already?
No, that's Kendall Rogers has come. They did a D1 baseball, like how they've been doing like the brackets like pretty much every day with the tournaments going on, and now they have LSU in as a 2 seed at the moment.
Oh, that's not what I was going to say. But so where do they have them in at? Do they have a regional?
Yeah, Stillwater.
Oh, they still have them in Stillwater, but just as the 2?
Yeah.
Okay. My question, though, to LSU is, does Jay go and throw his Gates jump on 4 days rest again?
No. Right?
You talking about in this game tomorrow?
Yeah.
Hell no. I didn't
think so either, but that's what people are asking, because and we brought it up me and Lloyd kind of talked about, I don't think he does either, but he threw 4 days rest on Tuesday, right? I don't think he does because now you got to get ready for the regional. But
I don't think he does. And I'm gonna beat the drum. I'm gonna beat the drum I've been beating all year until I finally hit that motherfucker. Right? Give me Cade Anderson. Give me Cade Anderson. Give me Cade Anderson.
Is it this time?
Come on, baby. Come on, baby.
Who else you got?
Hey, where else we gonna go right now? Give him to me.
I mean, it has to be him, right? Like, that's the only guy left.
I'm running out of time.
I mean, like, you have nothing to lose right here. It's 2 or 3 games, and you're either holding the trophy, or you're eliminated in 2, or you're losing a championship. So throw him now. You give another day's rest to everyone, pretty much everyone else, and then now you can kind of go back into a regular schedule. Like, it would only make sense right now.
Yeah.
Right.
I love it. I love it.
Because and that's what we talked about on Monday, Mikey, was you kind of have to know what you're playing for in order to, if you would throw a gauge jump on Saturday. Did you throw on Tuesday?
Yeah.
So it would be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That would be 3 days rest thrown on the
Oh,
fourth
it's
day.
only 3 days rest. No, hell no, he's not pitching.
No, he's not.
pitching. Yeah, no. He's not. He's done until next weekend. He's
Yeah.
done until the regional.
You did your job, buddy.
Holman, done until the regional.
Mhm.
Hey, listen to me. 2009. We won
A decade
It
ago.
was structured way differently in Hoover, right? First game, it was 18 tournament. It was double elimination all the way through. We lose first game to Vanderbilt. Then we have to come all the way through the losers bracket. The only way to do that is if somebody needs to step up. Nolan Kane comes out and throws a gem, right?
Jim.
Shoves, dude. Like, gets us to the next round. We get to the finals, have to play Vanderbilt in the finals, right? We throw Ryan Bird. Ryan Bird hadn't thrown in months. He goes and throws 7 2/3 of 2-hit baseball. Right?
I think he had only thrown like 8 to 10 innings on the season too.
Right. Like, shove. And so my point is, you are going to have guys to do that in this tournament, and this is the opportunity. And LSU's done everything they need to do to put it in a situation where they don't have to come through the losers bracket and play an extra game yet. But you're going to have to. You don't have your number 1, number 2 are out. You don't have a number 3 technically yet. You already used technically your number 3 starter, which was Johnny Holstaff yesterday. And now you have a guy who has proven that he can start mid-weeks, but he's talented, so give him a shot. And then you have Johnny Holstaff too. Whoever that guy is, you have him coming in that you have available. So why not? You have nothing to lose. To just point. I mean, if you're not going to host and you already made the 2 seed, what are you going to do? What do you have to worry about?
And let's be honest too. Think about it this way. Let's say it happens in a quote unquote losing effort tomorrow. Let's just say that, hypothetically speaking, right? With the way that this team has swung the bat, why would you not throw Cade? Because he can give you extended innings, save the bullpen. That way, when you get to that next game, that elimination game, you got Johnny Holstaff, and you got a pretty much kind of a healthy and full and ready Johnny Holstaff. So it would only make sense to go with him here because the longer you can leave him out there and the longer he can compete, whether you win this game or not, the better it is for you moving forward in this tournament and obviously moving forward in the NCAA tournament.
No doubt.
And it would be a big, like, kind of like what you got with Thatcher yesterday, kind of like a show me spot. Like, all right, let's see if you can do it against SEC teams. Where
that's what this tournament is, though.
Right.
This tournament, the way it's set up is somebody's probably gonna have to come through and show me that I ain't seen it like that from yet.
Yeah.
Now I won't say that Cade's that guy because we've seen it like that from. We haven't seen it like that from him on the weekend yet.
And guys that are that talented and guys that are that good, those moments they seem to elevate themselves. Like, hey, we need you here. Got to have it. We haven't done this all year for you. Come out and show me what you can do. I have no doubt. If he starts, I think he's gonna have a good game. I think he's gonna go 4 or 5 innings of really good baseball in the mound. Ideally, he goes 6, but I mean, he hadn't thrown that long in a long time. So, if he goes 4, great. If he goes 5, I mean,
it would make so much sense, and it would help LSU out so much that as long as they're not down by, I don't know, like if he doesn't get his brains beat in to where they're down by 6 runs after 2 or 3, it would make so much sense for him to be able to just, I don't care what the score is, get to 6. Just get us 2 or through 6, and then we can figure it out from here.
No, that'd be ideal.
Well, that's what I was gonna bring up. Is even like, is the score even matter? Like, as long as he's not completely off the rails, where it's like a Rick Ankiel situation, where like, dude, go get him. Is it like
and I guess no, and that's what I mean. So like, I would only imagine that if there's a 6-run, 7-run gap, 5-run plus gap through 2 or through 3 innings, usually that would mean that the pitch count has gotten up.
Right.
So like, if it's not that, man, bro, here's a 6-inning blank canvas. Go paint some shit.
Yeah.
Like, I just give me something beautiful. Like, see this thing behind me? Go paint it. I don't know what it's gonna be. Go paint it.
That's cute. That's art, brother. I don't know what it means, but I like it.
Now, I don't know what it's gonna be, but is it gonna be beautiful or not?
Just the keyword: abstract, contemporary.
There you go. Splatter some shit when you need to.
Whatever the art, conceptual, whatever the art phrases are, just use them for that. Go paint something out there. Go finger paint. I don't care. Just go out there and paint.
Make me a bicycle clown.
Impressionism, expressionism, cubism.
The game tomorrow is at what time? 4. What?
Do they have? I think they got the first game, so it's probably the 4:30 game.
4:30 game.
Noon, you bunch of sacks of shit.
Oh, it's noon. It's at noon.
Hey, Mitch, you should probably know that.
I didn't know they meant both after. No. I'm out. You know, the tenured guys is in. It's 2 games a day.
No doubt.
The big boys is doing it. I'm back to the crib. I ain't got shit to do with this.
Next week we're back in studio. Well, Monday's Memorial Day. Obviously, it is the announcement of the regionals, which we're gonna have to figure out that conversation, which that's off air. But
no, let's have it now.
The squad will be back together, right, in the studio next week.
Actually, I'm going out of town.
No. Are you?
No, I am going out of town the beginning of June, though. But that's 2 weeks away. I don't want to hear anything. Everybody's out of town looking at me. I'm alone in here.
Yeah.
Vacation seemed like a good idea
But what
after I see
happens when
y'all.
we're out of town? We can still do this when we're out of town.
Selfish.
Yeah. Real big piece of the puzzle here, apparently.
You are a big piece of the puzzle.
Oh, you didn't know? Okay.
But yeah, so LSU plays tomorrow at noon against the winner of South Carolina and Kentucky. Obviously, they both played them already in the tournament. It's going to be a good game. Going to be exciting to see what happens, who he starts, and when he makes that announcement. But I'm going to be watching it. I'll be watching it from the water, Lloyd. I'm going to be on a houseboat.
A houseboat.
All over the weekend.
Yeah, if you need any advice, just let me know. You saw my last venture on a houseboat. Yeah. We had no cable.
Yeah, what do y'all got for Memorial Day? Jay, I know you're coming in. Y'all just hanging out?
Yeah, I'm going to be chilling, man. I ain't got too much.
A long week.
Not too much going on.
That social battery needs to be recharged.
I have to make a move again soon, so yeah. Not going to happen.
All right. Do we have any curtain calls? Mistakes of the day, Lloyd?
Yes, I do. Mistake of the day brought to you by Doe's Eat Place. And the mistake of the day goes out to, hold on, let me put myself on the screen here, is, I don't know if you've seen obviously the Scotty Scheffler mayhem that has become of this policeman who didn't have his body cam on, and there's no footage, so he made up this very elaborate story about how he basically died. Scotty Scheffler nearly killed him. He got charged with a felony, and he's like, my body cam wasn't on, so I can kind of, this turns into a tale of how big is the fish. You know, I caught a fish that was this big, and nobody saw it. And now, but there was a camera, and it catches the kind of the back end, or what would be the beginning of the Scotty Scheffler police video, where, I'm going to pull it up right now, but this is an absolute, this man is going to get in trouble, because he lied. And so,
he already got in trouble, right? He already got reprimanded.
He got reprimanded for not having his body cam on, but then he was like, well, my $80 pair of pants is ruined. I don't know what we're going to do.
Beyond repair.
And if you see it, once I pull up this video, you'll see that I don't even know how that could have happened. As Scotty comes wheeling around here, give it a second to marinate. There's Scotty. Here's the police officer. Tries to break his window and get into the car. And we're in. We're trying to take the keys out of the ignition. And Scotty is just like, what are you doing? I play here. I'm the #1 golfer in the world. I don't know at what point he could have got his pants.
Look at this guy's head in there.
Oh, dude, Mr.
That's bold right there.
Look at me. It's my time to shine in my traffic jumper. No body cam on. And
when did he jump on the hood of the car?
Yeah, this is it. Like, this is what he's saying. This is the felony.
Right, so no hit of the car, no.
Didn't he write into the thing too that he got like drugged a little bit by the car?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He was claiming bodily harm. He hurt his wrist and his knee. He scraped his knee. And obviously,
wow. I mean, the only person that's like putting out the same charges that the cop said is the cop. The cop came in super aggressive.
Yeah. So and then they had the courtroom battle took place on Monday, I believe, where they filed a continuance, which happens in court all of the time because Scotty Scheffler's he doesn't live in Kentucky. And so they're like, look, he went home to Dallas. And they're like, well, why didn't he stay? He's like, he has a life and a family, and he has to go. We're filing for a continuance so he can go home. He's already at home. And he's like, we can do it over Zoom. I'm like, no, he has to be here. And so they're going this back and forth between Scheffler's lawyer and the entire state of Kentucky, apparently, that wants to have this. They're not dropping the charges, and he has to be arraigned, and he's coming back at a later date. But it's just an absolute shit show for what they've been trying to charge him with, and you see the extent of what happened. The man didn't even dirty his pants. McAfee threw out a theory that he may have shit himself.
Didn't do anything.
It could be the
He got
case.
drugged.
He got drugged. So that's the mistake of the day, is this cop thinking
That's
he got away
embarrassing.
with one, and the cameras are out. There's cameras everywhere, dude.
Yeah, everywhere.
Everywhere.
That's a good mistake of the day. I hope the cop gets in trouble. Obviously, he did. I hope that nothing happens with Scotty, which I imagine is not going to happen. So definitely no felony. Definitely, hey, here's a ticket, maybe.
If that's a felony,
Yeah,
put me under the jail.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Curtain Call is brought to you by our friends at Assured Partners.
And?
Me.
Okay.
All right.
What we got?
Lloyd, you leading us?
I have a curtain call coming up right about now. But obviously, easy one is obviously Broswell, if y'all want to take that one. But the man, the myth, the legend that is filmmaker Morgan Spurlock has died.
Yeah.
The man who of Super Size Me fame that ate McDonald's every day. Was it a month for every meal? And,
Yeah. You just want to talk about how unhealthy it was, obviously.
yeah,
Very
well, it gave him cancer. So he died of cancer. But he also went in there. He lied a little bit about his health throughout the entire thing, which is funny. He's a comedian. He was a severe alcoholic. And they're like, oh, your liver enzymes look terrible. He's like, yeah, I've been eating nothing but McDonald's. He's like, no, this only happens to alcoholics. He's like, oh, well.
Yeah, you've been
have you
drinking while eating all nothing but McDonald's.
The doctor goes, have you had anything to drink? He's like, oh, I'm sober right now. And it's like, oh, that's a tell. Like,
Okay,
yeah, you don't
cool,
go to the doctor.
cool.
It's 10 in the morning, brother. And so, an all-time classic movie, Super Size Me, it is, because it's just the pits of hell. The man that turns in from day 1 to day 28 when he's driving in for the 28th time to get a, what's the breakfast with the hotcakes and sausage? And it's just like, I don't want this anymore. But if you haven't seen it, do watch it because it's incredible. And rest in peace, obviously.
Yep. Rest in peace. Jay, you got one?
I don't. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Oh.
Not yet.
I don't either.
I don't.
Why don't you
I
get to
don't.
Roswell, dude?
Yeah, Bradwell. There we go. I'm all I know it.
Team. Game winner of the ninth against his own team. That's it.
How's your ball? I like
my
it.
curtain call is to next week. All the boys back together in one room. Looking forward to that. We've been grinding for different reasons. Jay's been grinding on the SEC Network deal. I've
Playing
been
with the
grinding
kids.
on the insurance side and trying to do. Look, the beauty of the internet, the beauty of technology. We can all do it. Just may not be in the same room. It feels like we're in the same room, but not yet. Next week we will be. Lloyd, curtain call to you for this whole week.
Just really
keeping it
killing
together,
this
yeah.
thing, really holding it together.
This is why
No
Mikey
doubt.
pushed for Zoom so hard. Look at us go.
That's it. That's exactly why I did. We
Feels like
appreciate y'all.
2020
We
in this
appreciate all the
show.
support. enjoy watching the Tigers tomorrow at noon. We will obviously be tweeting and doing a bunch of different things and kind of keeping you up to date. Enjoy Memorial Day weekend. Be safe. We'll see you on Monday. We will let you know if there's probably going to be a special edition of the episode due to the selection show. So we will be back on Monday. Enjoy your weekend. We love you. We appreciate you. We'll see you on Monday. Peace.
Go Tigers.
Hey.